you something. Let me tell you something about this guy. You ever hear something says a lost art?
Yeah.
He's the last of the dying breed. This guy. I tell you what, I'm gonna put you to the test. You find another person that can do what he can do with Volkswagens.
Say your name again?
Montez Jordan.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 57.
So how'd you get into that?
What got me started was the clutch in my 72 Beetle went up. And I'm like, okay. I went out and bought a service manual, and I decided I'm gonna try it myself. And I'm thinking I gotta have this tool, I need that tool, I need this, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
And I realized the biggest tool I was lacking was the confidence to do it, because I'm not trained in this stuff. And I pulled the engine out, put a new clutch in it, and drove the car to work that Tuesday. I've never been to a shop since. The Volkswagen crowd is an older crowd now. Now the young kids that are getting into Volkswagen, they're getting into the water cool scene. This the air cool, the real early ones. The water cool, Golf, Rabbits, Jettas, Passats now. And I mean, they're putting a lot of money in them, but it's not the old school work where you took the body off the frame and restore it. Their cars come pretty nice to start with. Then it just matter of putting a set of rims on it, tinting the windows, a banging stereo system. They might lower the suspension. They might put a loud muffler on it.
Yeah.
But they don't have to do what we have to do. We have to tear the car completely apart, bring it back up from scratch. Back in the 70s and 80s, man, people were driving Beetles as daily drivers. So they needed to be serviced. And they were fresh cars then. And I had a garage, it was 2 bays, it was about $100 a month. I was making a fortune. And that was my side money. That average one come to me 40 years old, it's rusted out, the wire and harness all corroded up, the engine then locked up. It needs to be restored. I get a lot of them, they just set somewhere 15 years, 18 years, car deteriorated, everything rubber is dry rotten, tires, brake hoses, you name it. So it's gonna be a bumper to bumper restoration, and I gotta do it within what they can afford.
I've been going to drag strip all my life. I was strictly, he'll tell you, I was strictly V8 man. V8, hot rod.
Muscle cars.
Muscle, strictly. And I saw how reasonable, look how it looked. It's the Underdog. I said, wow. Matter of fact, he put this one together. My wife bought it for me when I retired. He's the one that built this car. You're talking about Underdog. You know what an Underdog is? Underdog. It's very degrading, really. So you pull up on a lot. You got the Shelbys, 2-seaters. You know what I mean? You got Vets.
Top dollar cars.
Yes. I pull up in this, and they come over and look at it. And you know what? I won't let, I purposely sometimes mess with them. I won't let them look at my engine. Because, you know, once a person learns your engine, they go tell someone, oh, you know, he's running so-and-so, so-and-so. So you got to keep them guessing. But they said, they argued me, they said, man, that's no Volkswagen. And I said, why would I lie to you? I ain't never heard, I said, do you know much about Volkswagen? I said, do you know what you know? I said, so, any place where I go, they look at it and say, it's a Volkswagen. I said, I know it's a Volkswagen. I said, I tell you what though, on Intel, I look at a Vet, I said, I tell you what, every time you hit your brake lights, I have to hit mine. I don't care what you're running in a quarter of a mile. You know, and I know that for a fact because they are fast. And I know what I'm running. You see what I mean? I ain't racing, but you know what I mean? So if he say, put it to the test, you know what I tell him? You don't have enough money.
As far as my work, it's my art. You know, automotive art, that's my style.
Describe like how it's art. Like what do you mean? Like how
art is the super detailing. My customers, as I get to know them, I cater the car to them.
Right.
I got a couple of guys that real macho, talk a lot of trash. Right. You know, loud, wide fenders, the rail tail, loud horn, lights everywhere. They got a macho image.
So say your name for me.
My name is Roland Tyner, T-Y-N-E-R. My nickname is Duck, D-U-C-K. I'm one of the founders of the Baltimore Motorcycle Club.
You must have had a lot of motorcycles in your day.
I've had, oh man, you can't name it. I've been riding motorcycle for the last 60-some years.
Wow.
Wow.
I raced motorcycles professionally on the track, dirt track, asphalt, you name it. Down in Capitol down there,
Yeah.
I had a 1,000 cow with 1107 engine in that job and a 62-inch wheelie bars, air shift, the whole 9 yards.
So I mean, did you have like all walks of life of motorcycles, with Harleys and?
If you name it, I can have them.
What was your favorite motorcycle?
My favorite motorcycle is a Honda Goldwing.
And that was the one that you had before, probably. Like,
I had a Goldwing. The last bike I had was a Goldwing.
looking nice, man. So what's it like to get on that thing, man? You're going from the walker to this thing. That's a nice transition, isn't it?
Yes.
What's it mean to get on there, this thing for you? What's it mean to you?
It means a whole lot to me. Because, man, if I couldn't get on my track, man, just remember, I'd go out of my mind.
So let me ask you something. What turns more heads, the bike or you?
Bike turns the heads. And then see them young ladies be hollering, come on, take me for a ride. I said, pull the car over. You know, and it just messes with their mind. Well, I can't go right now. I said, well, I tell you what, give me your phone number or something. Or either come down here to the Bandoliers Motorcycle Club down in Emerson Avenue.
Yeah.
I'll take you out for a ride.
Okay. Has it worked out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it worked out very good.
Because I ain't know all that.
Yeah.
80 years old. I didn't think I'd be this long.
You didn't think it would take this long? It's pretty, man. Is this the first trike you ever built?
I've serviced a couple before, but this one I took it completely apart.
Completely apart.
Cut the frame out of a 79 Beetle. Took an automatic transmission, put that frame in there, made my own wiring harness, every bracket, everything. Because there's nothing that you can buy for this. I can't run to Pep Boys, I can't run to Advanced Auto, can't run to Standard Auto. You make everything as you go along. And it doesn't mean that you think of it in 2 seconds and then you make it in the next 5 minutes. Sometimes it would take me 3 or 4 hours or maybe come back the next day to try to envision how can I make something that's gonna work, it's gonna last, it's gonna be accessible. You like what I did to tanks. I'm like, where am I gonna put these tanks?
Wow. So, I mean, how many hours do you think you put into this thing?
I had this thing tore apart for about a year. But it's not like I'm working on it. And I have to explain to this girl, I had to explain to Duck for a minute there. He think I was jerking him around. He all out back trying to look up in here, and I was working too. And
Him?
Yeah, because he didn't know me that well. And I have to tell people sometimes, if you're gonna bring it to me, you gotta trust me. I'm gonna try to do the best job I can, and that ain't no magic wand. If I make everything neat, well done.
Right.
And I'm always working on 3 or 4 projects. It ain't an alternator job, it ain't a brake job, it ain't a tune-up. I'm building whole cars.
Ask you something real quick about, you know, he was telling me about his racing days, and you know, he seems kind of humble, but he did let it go that no one could beat him. I mean, tell me about that.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a little bit before I know him, but from hearing people talk, hey, he was a monster in a sense against V8s. I remember telling about that the Chevrolet. You were telling about the guy he was strictly drag, and they went some years ago.
Yeah.
What he told me was, now this is a car don't run on the streets, okay? And he was in his bug, the purple bug there, and he was running fender to fender with it. So when the guy got out and was prepping the car, he was looking over there and said, you see what I mean? Because he couldn't leave it. He couldn't, and this wasn't a street legal car. The guy, you trailer, you pull it off, they race. I'm going back in the day.
Yeah.
And so when you hear stories like that, it's one thing. But when you get in a car and you ride in one and you say, now these are the facts. It ain't hearsay no more.
Right.
Here it is right here.
Like, if you put this on a spreadsheet, the work you put into it, you know, you're not making any money.
Oh, I know that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, like, you know, this is what you've done, and you know.
Seriously.
So why are you doing it, and why are you doing this for?
This is how I express myself. If I was in it for the money, I'd have been out of it by now. So I do like doing it. I try to make it affordable for anybody that's willing to give it a shot.
No, he do make it affordable. He's being modest. He do make it affordable.
It's hard. I'm trying to do $18,000 worth of work, $4,000 or $5,000 jobs. You know.
Right.